And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the February 2nd, 2023 Edmondson Heights Civic Association Community Meeting. I will not hold you all long tonight, even though we know I say that every time and we always go longer, but I'm going to try to be an honorable woman this time because I have little to nothing. I have a couple of little things. But I did want to welcome everybody and thank you for joining me tonight. So I'm not sitting here looking stupid talking to myself. I do it a lot though. I do it a lot. I only have a couple of things. The bigger thing that I wanted to tell you guys, I want to remind you that we're having the dumpster day in April. I'll tell you the date one day. I think it's the last Saturday in April. I just don't quite remember it right at this moment. I wasn't able to have the shredders come on that day, so we're going to do the shredders a couple weeks later on June the 17th. We'll have the shredders between 10 a.m. and noon. I've got to finish filling out the information and stuff for that, but we'll have that. But it'll be in this newsletter I keep telling you guys it's coming. I think it's coming. So let's see. That is it. I'm thinking about at our last dumpster day, I met, well, I always know everybody. I never meet strangers. But I met a gentleman. I was talking to him about I wanted to donate clothes because I know that people always have clothes to donate and we have them stuck in our closet and we have them what have you, and we don't want to get rid of them because we swear we're going to fit into them later. But once we come to the realization that we're not going to fit into them later, we need to get rid of them. But we don't want to throw them away because we spend good money on our clothes. And I'm really just trying to find his information. But I met this gentleman and he works with across the state, what do we call them? I guess homes for people who are in some sort of recovery. And he was very excited about the idea because I was like, I have clothes. And as soon as I pick them up off the floor, you can have them. But that I would want to donate. And there's clothes that I don't want to throw away. And since we haven't been very good about the yard sale, I thought it would I would check with him and I would check with you guys to see if you thought it was a good idea to just kind of, since we're out there, just do something a little bit extra too. I know all of us won't be out there, but I'm sure I'll be out there. But yeah, and if there's clothes to drop off, I think anytime we like maybe at every dumpster day, or there should always be an opportunity to kind of donate and do more than one thing if it's possible. And that's what I want to do. That's June 17th. I'm going to meet some really interesting people on the dumpster day. That's when everybody comes out to play on the dumpster day. It's really interesting. I'm looking this way. I guess I could go ahead and just look this. I could do it this way because I have a second screen here. Another thing I wanted to tell you guys about is, well, I guess since I just mentioned all of the newsletters, I was thinking that we would add a little portion so that, and wonder where I get this from, but to introduce pets around the neighborhood. And answer that does he bite question. I thought we'd add like a pet corner and things that'll be good for pets and safe for pets. And I'd like to do it for kids, but I need a key. Wait a minute. I'm double hearing this. Is somebody listening on two devices? Okay, go ahead, Ms. Bronzella.
About the clothes, excuse me, is it just clothes or can we do like comforters and things of this nature?
Ooh,
Or is it just clothes?
I'll ask.
Okay,
I'll ask him. I'll
because I
ask.
have a couple comforters I don't want anymore, but I hate to throw them away because they're still good. And somebody may be able to use them.
Oh no, I can use a couple comforters.
Okay, so let me know, please. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Comforters are a comfort. So I surely will. I will check, I'll check to see. Um so thank you guys for thinking that's in the chat. Where's my list again? But yeah, I wanted to put in something to just kind of, I see pets around all the time, and I'd specifically like to know about the German Shepherd on the 1200 block of Newfield. But I see people walking pets all the time, and I just think our pets are our neighbors too. And we have a lot of people, if you're ever on Nextdoor, we have a lot of pets that just kind of leave home for a little while and go on little adventures. So if we could kind of just kind of have an idea of the pets that are in the neighborhood, I just want to give that a shot. There was a in particular an answer to, I think someone, well, I know someone asked if we could put receptacles out. I told you guys about this for dog waste. And I thought that I personally got, it's like a diaper genie. And after we walk in, we don't, it's sitting in the backyard and we put it out with the trash. So I agree with you guys when you said that having a dog is a dog owner's responsibility. And yeah, I did just kind of, I needed that I needed that thought process because it was something I was just going, how do we fix it? How do we, you can't fix dog poop. You have people who don't pick it up anyway. So they won't pick it up, they won't, what have you. DeBale. I used to actually know someone whose last name was DeBale. So who are
It's
you?
actually it's Deetra, but people mispronounce it, so I just abbreviated.
Okay.
I was able to view the meeting last month on YouTube, so I did recall you stating something about the dog receptors. I don't think that's a good idea. You have people that can't even pick up trash, so even if they use the receptacles, I'm not a pet person. I don't have anything against them. However, I do see poop. I walk a lot in a community. And another, but cleaning it, getting it cleaned out. I think, I don't think people may be responsible to clean. And then in the summertime, the smell could be quite overwhelming.
Yep.
So I didn't think that was a good idea. I mean, the bags, I could see being a good idea, having them posted, because I've been in communities where they have bags for the pet owners to grab in the event that they don't have one while they're out. But as far as the receptacles, yeah, I would do a hard pass on that.
Yeah, we talked about it in the board meeting, and it was basically who's gonna
clean it,
empty them, who's gonna, so if on the one hand, if you're not interested in picking up your dog's poop that one day or every day, you're not going to be interested in volunteering to pull up the bag in a receptacle and put it out. So yeah, I've been down doing the pickup and there's somebody else's dog poop right there. And I was like, no, I'm not responsible for that. I'm not doing that. I'll pick up after mine. And I do, and I feel really bad. And I think I was thinking of it a different way. But you're right. Some parks have doggy bags just in case. I think what I want to do is have them be a certain color so that we'll know if we see them out that they come from this neighborhood and that um, people are wasting them. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. And we'll definitely put them at the park. I was also thinking, and I've been researching, if I said this before, I'm sorry, but because every day runs into each other for me. I'm thinking of, and I have to talk to the board, and I don't see that they would not be on board with this, putting no litter, do not litter signs at the bus stops. Because I think that's a lot of people who stand there and wait for the bus and they drop their trash right there. And it's just to ask, hey, can you take this with you? Another place that I've noticed trash is at homes, blocks with the end unit. And they have these big yards and people will throw their trash over in someone else's yard. So that's something. I'm looking for a standard price for those signs, but that's something I'm thinking of we can do too. Can we just ask you not to throw your stuff down? Can we ask nicely? So yeah, that's a thing there. Thank you, Miss Bell. Yeah. So where's my thing again? That was, and I was speaking of the park. I see you in the chat here. Yes, I am. Yes, we are keeping track of the dues from the previous administration. They go as far back as 2007. And it's my understanding that they go back only to 2007 because that's when the books started being kept by certified CPAs. That's my understanding. I could be wrong, but yes, we do keep track of the dues. If you want to know if you owe anything, just send me an email to president.ehcmine@gmail.com. I'm pretty sure I spelled that right, but there you go. Coming around to, well, I'll stick with trash. I was filled in on I was added to an email between Margaret Stokes in Baltimore County, and not that it was funny, but she called them on their stuff. She sent out asking them to pick up trash on certain streets in certain areas. And they responded and they said, yes, we've done. And she was like, no, you haven't. I'll send you pictures. Please go back again and take a look at that. So I think if we have that issue here, I have, no, right. If we have that issue here, then it looks like I know who to get in touch with. Wait a minute, this is Margaret. Hold on, I'm sorry. Hi, Miss Margaret. You. All right. Bye-bye. Good night. That was funny. I thought she couldn't hear us or something, but yeah, she was just again saying how there's been more, I guess there's possibly dumping going on, but there's been more trash, and the county is saying that they're cleaning, taking care of the areas, and they're not. So those are things we have to keep our eye on too. When we ask them to do something, I asked, and they said it's been taken care of, but I got that today and I haven't had a chance to see. There was some dead limbs that fell in the median on Harwell. And I asked them to, I should have asked them before they fell to get them, because they fell into the trees, but they hadn't hit the ground yet. And so they hit the ground, and asked them to come and get those. Miss Tanya, it's in April. It's the last Saturday in April. And I was saying that we have a shredding day, which is going to be Saturday the 17th at 10 o'clock. And we're also going to try to donate clothes to like a rehab center. So stay on the lookout for that. I promise there'll be a newsletter. There'll probably be 3 in 1. Not sure how that works, but I am busy and busted, y'all. Yeah, there's the trash there, but Margaret also just asked me about the park, and I haven't seen it lately, which she makes me think that there's something going on there. That there's something like maybe some dumping or something going on. I'm not sure, but I got an email before I logged on about the organization is called Be Green, and it's a collaboration of other environmental organizations, and they've decided that they wanted to use grant money to kind of clean up our park. Parks and Rec, I don't know if they're still doing what they said they would do, if it's just going to take time. I'm not really sure. However, Parks and Rec was on the call with me and the Be Green group, and they said they saw no problems with what we were talking about doing. One of the things I've tried to make it into something or create something that's going to be of value to our neighborhood. It's going to increase the value of our homes. And one of the things and so I'm not going, okay, let's put a playground there. Let's do this, let's do that. I personally wouldn't be down, and I don't know if anybody's been or understands what the park is, but I don't want to encourage any more nighttime activity down there. And I don't want us, me, you, to be down there, and I don't know what goes on. I know one time I was down there was like a sleeping bag on the steps. It's just a lot of things that I'm not sure about. I don't know. So I don't want to encourage people to be there specifically after dark. But what I do want to do is, for several reasons, is put what's called a living classroom down there. And this is because a project that I have in my work life with Baltimore County Public Schools includes Edmondson Heights Elementary School. And it will include, we're teaching a little bit about the environment in their science curriculum. Right now it's grades K through 2. And in the next year, it'll be 2 through 5. Eventually, it's going to go through the 12th grade. And then, I want to say then, but it's probably going to happen sooner. I think what we're doing is going to go statewide. So that's really exciting. I've been told. I just want to see it go first. But a part of it is the idea has been to help children see the environment that they live in, understand, get to know, become acquainted with the environment that they live in. There's one thing, there's this huge environment and there's climate change and there's all of that, but you can't really, that's a lot to put on kids. What I wanted to do was, one, it's kind of teach love for where you live. If you know it better, then you'll love it better. And you won't necessarily let your friends come and spray paint on everything and do these things. But so we're looking at living classrooms where basically there'll probably be some sort of what do you call them? Like benches set up in a class, in like a classroom, looking like a classroom, small classrooms. Because they'll be down there and I want it to be safe for them to be down there. I want it to be an experience. We're gonna put pollinators. Someone's gonna come and help clear up the vines, this whole thing going on. So it's a big thing. I've had one person to offer to help. I guess he lives across the street from the park. And yeah, and I want to also thank Miss Danielle Melton, because I've seen her Facebook post and she's encouraging people to become more involved in the neighborhood instead of just complaining about it and moving. There's only so much anybody else can do. I really appreciate her for that. So I'm going to be looking for her to help me with the park. There's am I. So yeah, we're gonna start working on that soon. We're gonna start working on that soon. Another thing I wanted to just, I guess I didn't start with the petition. I didn't go in any order. I've signed, I have signed a letter as a petition on behalf of Edmondson Heights for it to be brought up at the, I want to say in the House of Representatives, that speed cameras be allowed in residential areas in Baltimore County. I did not know they were allowed, and it's one of the things we've been asking for some help. We've been asking for help with speeding, specifically on Harwell, Granville, Forest Park. It all goes down there. So the deadline to get those letters in was yesterday. Mine has been in for maybe a day. So I'll keep you guys posted on if anything comes of that. I sent it to our leaders, including Representative Adrian Jones. I want to say it's Jones, but I'm pretty sure that's not right. She's not on here, but I am sorry for getting that wrong. So we're gonna just kind of see how that goes. Apparently, is they have them in Prince George's County, and for some reason we just don't have them here, and we need them because there's a lot of speed and race and all kinds of stuff going on. So, but yeah, I've signed that on behalf of us. What else? I got an email requesting information because supposedly Congressman Faiza Mfume is looking to get involved in community stuff. I don't know. But sure, Congressman, come on down. We got a lot to talk about. The speed cameras and Mfume shredding event. Yeah, Miss Tanya, we have the shredding event June 17th. Before that, April the 29th is the don't make me lie, but I think it's the 29th, is the dumpster day. It's already it's already scheduled, but I don't know. But something will come out about that. The one thing I don't have an update, or one of the things I don't have an update for everybody about, is the Airbnb on Newfield. I did not get the chance to follow up or check in on that. There's been information that's come to me saying that it's not against the law, but what I do want is to make the owner know, make him aware of the trash. Can you stop? Okay. To make him aware of the issue with the trash and things like that. So that is still on my agenda to do. As you can tell, I'm still on the fall newsletter, so it's still on my list to do. Yeah, I think we have to have a fall and winter newsletter because it'll probably just throw the universe out of whack. So I am gonna do something's coming. I don't know. And if anybody ever has any ideas, anything like that, I am very, 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 very open to them. I have received emails asking people who have trees in their yard. Somebody's giving me feedback. To have people ask people to trim back the trees because they're in the way of the sidewalk. That's that. I think I'll throw that in the newsletter somewhere and make a big newsletter soup. But I think that's it for me. And I open the floor to the rest of you. Yes, Miss Dietra.
See, I told you mispronounced it.
I did.
Detroit. That's fine. I blame it on the head, not the heart.
Detroit.
Detroit, yes. The E is long, the T is short. That's how I try to tell people. Okay. But in the summertime, or when the weather gets warmer, the baseball field is a huge, huge issue. I live near on Barrett. And like I said, I walk throughout this whole community just about 5 times a week. And in the summertime, I actually had to pull a group of guys that were sitting over there. You know, they were affiliated with the game. And I told them, I was like, you know, you guys left this field horrible last week. It was horrible. He was like, that wasn't us. That was another team. So apparently different teams come, not one set team plays down at that field. But when they leave, it is disgusting. And it's an eyesore, it's horrible. I mean, even now, the basketball court, like my job has like a green day, and I'll come around and I'll pick up from the basketball court. But what can be done the baseball field, because I understand, you know, you need a permit or something to play down there. I know you just can't pop up and play down there. So you need to register your team or book the space or whatever. So when the teams that are doing that, before they leave, they need to clean up their trash or get some type of fine against them for leaving the field a trashy mess. Mm-hmm. So at least they will be held accountable, and they can say, hey, everybody, you know, if we don't get this trash up, our team is going to be fined. And then say like somebody like myself, I'll be happy to go out there the next day to say, oh, okay, they cleaned up behind themselves, and report back to you and say, hey, Jacqueline, it was cleaned up. They get a check plus, you know.
You got me on that one. It's Jaquista. Like, you got me, then you did. Okay.
Yeah, I got you back. Yeah.
I honestly, it's
if
been.
I interrupt you for.
Go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, you can always contact Recreation and Parks about that. Okay.
Okay.
And if you let them know that the people that are using the field are trashing it, they have someone to come out and start checking before and or after they leave, because they know what dates and time that specific group should be there.
Okay, so that would be a Monday through Friday recreation and park type thing, and we can just Google Baltimore County recreation and
I
park.
have the information, but yeah, basically we have a contact person there, Candace Goodwin.
Okay.
That was my next thing. If you wanted me to reach out to her in reference, I could. That was my next thing, Jaquisa, but you took the words out of my mouth. Look at you.
Look at me. Look at me. I need to get in touch with her anyway, because she was, I don't know if she wants updates about the park. I have no idea with Candace. I can't even lie to you. But I'm hoping that
she typically is fine as once you put it on her radar that there are people doing that, because I had that happen over at the academy and at Crosby and Roland. So once you notify her in recreation and parks that the people that are at least in the field are doing activity that they shouldn't, then recreation and parks will then start watching, and if they continue, then I guess they will terminate their contract agreement.
Okay. I'm wondering if everyone who uses it gets permission.
They should.
Yeah.
So once you notify her that that's going on, then that's why I say she will know who's supposed to be there and who's not. And during those time frames, when they have someone come out from recreation park and see who's there, they can catch them at that time.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I didn't know we were using that. Well, I didn't know anyone was using. I honestly don't even go that way half the time, but the few times I've seen, it's been, I could count on one hand, the number of times I've seen someone use it. Who is responsible to check the field after the team leaves? I think Zoom user. I think it's just a matter of people being expected to do the right thing. I don't know the question is, let's see, I heard as well, not against the law to rent part of your home as long as you come with it. Okay, Zoom user, know about that. It asks who's responsible to check the field after a team leaves. Zoom user, if it's adults using, they should be responsible. I don't think there's check-in, but we'll put it on Candace Goodwin's radar. We'll put it on her radar that it's an issue. We've had, I know that with we have to have permission to use the parking lot. So I guess I have seen the baseball, well, it might be the same place, so, but there has to be permission. And they ask, do you have, are you having food? Are you having this? Do you have insurance? All of these great things. So yeah, we'll put that down and ask Candace, because I do need to talk to her about the park. And anybody else on next door, Security Mall, they are not putting the new stores, but are putting more storage companies. Well, I don't care. No, my thinking about Security Mall, I haven't been as involved as a lot of other people have been about Security Mall because my plate is full enough. But it seems as though the communities surrounding Security Mall have somehow spoken. And if we're not going there, if we're not, there's a reason why stores are leaving. There's a reason, I don't know. Has it been mistreated because overall as a community, we don't want it? I have no idea. I have no idea. I did read an article where Miss Teoka said, why put more stores when people can't afford to shop there? Which I understood that. I loved her point of view on that. Miss Teoka Hall. Um, she was great with that, and I get it. I don't know what's gonna become of Security Mall. I would like for it to not become a trash. I would love for, just as a community, I'd love for there to be pride. I would love for there to be pride. And I'm gonna say, to me, and it's not just that, oh, I want it around my home. I want it to look a certain way, but I think where there's pride, I think we see other neighborhoods and they have pride enough to either have funds to pay someone to do things like cleaning or something. I don't know, but I personally would like to invite someone to my home. They get off of 695, come on to 40, get on Ingleside, and be proud to have them come through my neighborhood. The one thing that I have seen is that there are communities that are really proud to be here, but you have people who just don't care. And I don't want that to all of the way be us. No, I don't want that to be us. I want us to have pride in where we live, even if it's just from where we walk out of our front door, our back door. We just take care of our little part. If everyone just does their part, it can be great. And when I was looking to buy a home, which I wasn't looking to buy a home, the first home I looked at was on Harwell across the street from the park. And I got a little lost at first, but I just thought I saw kids out actually playing, they were riding bikes, and I went, it's a tight fit, but it looks like a beautiful neighborhood. And I looked at several houses here, and there was a house on Kirkwood. I told my realtor, I said, if I don't find something else, bring me back to that house. It was beautiful. Then I found this one, or it found me. But yeah, I think we all want it to continue to be beautiful. And if we just, I'm walking and there's a Sprite bottle here, there's a this, then it's like, why? Why? So yeah, I'd love for us, my big agenda, I would say the overall agenda, me doing this is helping us to maintain or even upgrade the cost to live here. Like, we can sell our homes and it costs a little bit more because it's a wonderful place to live. And I was thinking of doing some stenciling on some of the curbs where you go from one curb to the next, and put thanks for keeping Edmondson Heights beautiful, or don't, just something, just that people live here. There's families, there's homes, take your trash with you. So it's a bigger issue than Edmondson Heights because it's also Security Mall, and it's also the corner down here at Ingleside. It's so many places that we have to ask people, hey, can you do something about this? And that's not how I was raised. I'm saying, when I was a kid, we had to clean up everybody's stuff. You wanted to go outside, you had to do some work or something. We just cut grass, we did all that stuff.
Yeah.
I would say, yes.
Yes, if I can, and going along on that same theme, we have two trucks that park in the community. Sometimes both of them are on Forest Park. Sometimes he's parked over on Grenville, the one big one, and sometimes he's on Harwell. Both of those trucks, I've been watching them. The one that constantly on North Park has North Carolina license plates on it that I really question. Anyway, are they a resident of North Carolina? What's it doing here?
I think
Anyway.
Officer Benz Clark took a look at that last month.
'Cause-
And she reported back that it was fine.
Because they're being used as storage sheds. I drive by them purposely whenever I go out, which is every day. And I have seen pickup trucks parked there, and they're switching stuff from the pickup truck to the truck and from the truck to the pickup truck, and then they drive away. So they're both being used as storage sheds for businesses, which is illegal in a residential area.
So when I checked that, those vehicles,
Yeah,
in the December, I actually ran into the owner of them, and they're not. I won't say. Well, he advised me they're his work vehicles. So whatever you see him taking from those vehicles and exchanging to another vehicle, they are his work vehicles. So he may have tools that he need in one day and tools he need in the other, but they definitely are his work vehicles, and they were parked legally.
how are they parked legally in a residential zoned area?
Commercial vehicles are classified as vehicles that weigh more than 10,000 pounds, sir.
Yeah, I know, and both of them are definitely more than that, but they are also parked there overnight, every day, every night. And they don't come and go like a normal commercial vehicle who is working in the residence.
About the same vehicles?
Yeah,
This pickup truck, right?
no, I'm talking about the storage vans that are being used, storage box trucks that are parked, one on Forest Park with North Carolina license plates, and the other one parks at different locations at different times. But you can go in, if it's there in the evening, and go back out in the morning, it's still there. And
The
then a
North,
pickup truck will show up and take stuff out of that truck and leave the neighborhood. They don't stay in the neighborhood. They're not working in the neighborhood.
the North Carolina plate, that was definitely under 10,000 pounds.
That box truck is under 10,000 pounds.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't disbelieve you, but I used to work for a company that leased trucks. And I can pretty much guarantee you that the gross vehicle weight on that thing and what it will carry is over 10,000 pounds. That's only 5 ton. That's a
Which
small
block?
truck.
Which block of Forest Park?
Right off of Harwell. And typically parked around junk around that truck, that box truck, that white box truck with the North Carolina is trash. At one point, not too long ago, there was a pickup truck that sat there for 6 or 7 days with 2 flat tires on it, all broken down, and nothing happened. I'm not blaming you, Officer Clark. I'm not saying that. I've just purposely been driving by this since it came up. And I have a really hard time saying that the registration on that thing says it's less than 10,000 pounds.
You are more than welcome to send me the registration for the vehicle that you're talking about. I'm just the vehicle that Jaquista sent me, and it had a North Carolina plate. I checked that one out and ran the tag, and I can only tell you what it was listed from EMV, that the vehicle weight was less than 10,000 pounds.
Wow, because there are pickup trucks out here with the dual rear ends that are weighing 6 tons.
I am more than happy to check that out for you, sir.
All right, I appreciate it. I'm not trying to create trouble. I'm just really concerned because they are an eyesore in the community, and particularly when they have trash laying around them and debris. They had a trailer behind that one box truck on Forest Park that contained a bunch of junk in it, and it just sat there for a couple of days, didn't move. So I know they're being used as storage sheds, period. But the people that are in and out of those do not stay in the community. They're not doing work in the community. So that concerns me. There's somebody that probably does, maybe they live here, I don't know. I'm not gonna go around and follow people and shadow them. That's not my forte.
Maybe you can get a tag number.
Well, I'll get a tag number on the trailer and the other pickup truck that was hanging around if I see it. Sure.
Okay,
do that.
if you send those to me, I can send those to Officer Vince Clark.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I'll be glad.
yeah, we've been reporting those left and right.
Yeah, I
And-
know. But to me, it's all part of the same image that we want to project. And that's not the image we want to project. That's not a neighborhood thing. That's a commercial thing. It's, so that's where I'm coming from.
Let's see, it says there's one on Ingleside that obscures traffic when you're coming out of Newfield.
Yeah, he moves that big box truck around. I know that thing is at least a 15 or more thousand pounds truck.
Okay.
It's
I
I
do-
believe
There
it's
was
rented from a
truck that was cited and tagged abandoned on Forest Park, that once I tagged it abandoned, it then moved to Granville and
Right.
Harwell. It was
Yeah.
kind of corner of Forest Park and Harwell.
yeah. It's also been on Sunset. There's no residents on Sunset. Yet if you look on Sunset, there are an awful lot of cars parked there. And I know parking is hard, believe me. But at the same time, there's always been a couple of Mercedes and high-end Honda cars parked there for 3 or 4 days and then they disappear. I want to try and get the tags off of them because I think it's somebody that lives in the community that goes to all car auctions and buys those cars. But he's parking them on the street. And that's a business run out of his home that is questionable as well. I don't have a problem, except parking is a problem. Period. There's no residency, but yet there can be as many as 20 cars parked on Harwell. Or excuse me, Sunset. And Sunset's only a block and a half long.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, I think it's something going on there with some couple of people probably buy cars at auctions and then have them towed and dropped down there. I did turn in probably 2 years ago a trailer that was brought in and they dropped off 3 cars and parked them on Harwell. That was a couple of years ago, probably close to 3 years now. And there were 2 guys that live in the area.
Yeah, we're tackling it. We are on it. But yeah, it's something that it takes all of us to do. Angela, your hand is raised.
Yes. So, Officer Clark, the truck that was on Granville,
Fluid truck.
yes, the box white truck, is this one over 10,000 or is it under 10,000? Because I noticed it had been ticketed, but it's still there. So it moves frequently and then it comes back. So is this the one that he's referring to that you said is under 10,000?
Which
No.
one?
It's the ones that the one that's on the top of Granville, just before you turn out of Harwell.
Yeah, no, that one.
Is that the
was the one.
10,000 pounds that I've cited before?
Yeah, it had a ticket on it. Yeah,
Yes.
this one,
That one, it was over, and I cited that one before.
okay, because
Yeah.
this individual never moves truck, and if it does, it comes back. But how many tickets does it get for it to be I don't know if it's towed away or for some other action to be taken so that it won't continue to park there?
Or if I'm not mistaken, the Baltimore County scoff law is, I think it's 3 or more unpaid
Okay.
citations in a 30-day period. Sometimes what we find with the tractor trailers and commercial vehicles is that they'll just pay the citation because it's cheaper than finding parking.
Okay.
So what to do is just continue to cite. So even if you see the car or the truck there in the evening, feel free to call the non-emergency number or 911 or send me an email and I'll go back out and recite it again. It's no issue at all. I'll actually check that area tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. And the one other thing I noticed while I was out doing my walking, and I did Angela and I spoke about it before, is people sitting in cars just in front of people's house, and they just sit in cars. I think they do their smoking or what have you. That is scary.
It's Jaquisa, it is extremely scary because I actually went out and did a cleanup of the trash and debris that's there. And some of the debris that is left out there, I won't give you guys the gory details. It's not something that you really want to be picking up from someone else,
Yeah.
just for health reasons, because you don't know. And you shouldn't be required to pick up someone else's items that they leave out. But when I did, like I said the last meeting, I did call and the police came out. And I told you the story behind that. They actually went to the house, which, you know, I haven't seen it. The double cars there, but there was a car there over the weekend, and I didn't note the time that it got there, but it was, you know, it was there and then it left. So that particular area directly in front of my house and the rest of my neighbors is becoming more frequent where cars are out there. And because it's the evening time, I have not gotten a good plate, or I have the description of the car, but I don't have a plate. So that would be useless for me to even call and report it, because there's thousands of cars out there with that particular color, but I just haven't actually gotten the license plate for it, because when that car normally is there with the other individual that actually lives in the area, that street. And you would think, when you're talking about the pride and the respect for the neighborhood, that you wouldn't do whatever it is that you do in a car for multiple hours. Actually has to come out and clean up trash from where you've entertained or you've done whatever. People actually have to pick it up. That just goes to show you that some individuals do not take their neighborhood and the consideration of their neighbors, and that there's no pride there. Like it's someone's responsibility to come out, or they think the lady that's, you know, lives up the street, she's gonna go and clean it up if we leave it out there. That shouldn't be, but that's just how that it is. But because I don't want to see it, and it's, you know, over time it accumulates. So I'm like, okay, fine, it's now time to go out. So I just wish everyone had that same sentiment of taking pride where you live and you stay and you rest your head, that you don't want to see individual coming in the neighborhood and defacing anything that we have put in hard work and to invest where we live at, for our property value to go down for their behavior.
I agree. You know, I'm very much with you on that one. There was I want to think it was Miss Melton who had the idea. Well, I had the idea, but she was like, yeah, she had it too, about kind of having a campaign on keeping the neighborhood beautiful. And I think in the spring, I'm going to try starting in the spring, because that's when everyone should be out doing all the trimming and doing all their lawn loving and stuff, and just kind of some sort of initiative. I did think that, I still think I'd like to see hand out beautification awards, because we do have some homes that take a whole lot of pride in their properties, and I wish whoever does their yard would do mine. But I think that's a good idea, because there's homes that have just for as long as I've been walking through the neighborhood, there's some really beautiful yards out. And just last night I was walking through, it was night, but trying to see whose door I wanted one like, and it's those are the ideas I just get from everybody else's homes. Like I need a new door. Whose door do I get? So we're gonna clean block campaign. Yeah. Keep your clean, keep especially in the warmer months. It's a block cleanup. Keep your block, keep your street from top to bottom at least every other month. I think it's doable. I think it's doable. I can't come up with it by myself. So I'm just gonna put you right here on my list of people to see when it's time to. Actually right here. But yeah, I saw the Danielle had the idea to form committees. I'm gonna put out there that we'd like to form like a beautification committee and see if anyone bites. I'm not gonna say we don't do it. I'm just gonna put it out there and see if anybody bites. And yeah, so yes, I am going to go with Neoma.
Very good. Yes, that's Lester. Question. I'm not sure if they're on the schedule or not, but is anyone we can contact in Baltimore County about getting it's the 1400 block and 1500 block of Barrett and Street, Claridge repaved. How do they come through do the paving?
The streets?
Yes.
There is, send me an email. I know that they'll want to know in front of what property.
Okay.
I've done it before and they did it, I think it was like the next day. But here I'd have to remember who, but of course I'll send me the, like you said, well, that's my street. 14 and 1500 block of Barrett in front of what house?
When I'm out tomorrow, I'll drive through, because I live on Kirkwood, but I drive through that and I noticed they're a little, compared to Harwell, Langford, and Kirkwood, they're a little more rickety, I've noticed.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when I go out tomorrow, I'll write down the addresses and I'll email
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
That'll be just fine. And they, like I said, the last time I did it, they came out, it was like the next day.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Thanks.
So anybody else? Yes, Ann.
Hi, I just wanted to remind the residents for the lights on your porch in the back and the front. You can purchase the dawn to dusk light bulbs. They come 2 in a pack for under $10.
Yep.
And they'll come on in the nighttime, go off in the morning, don't cost you any large
Any
amount of
extra?
money, just a couple pennies.
I last night when I was walking, I had like which street was it? And I'll go, which street is the darkest street? I think Kirkwood. You have, let's see, Barrett, Claridge. I think that was Langford. It looked dark, but some of the houses, a good deal of houses had lights on them. But it was really, and if I wasn't walking with a pit bull, I would have said, hey, I'm not going to do this. But yeah, that's kind of one of my games I do when I'm out. Which street is the darkest? I agree. And I think white lights are better. What it looks like to me, white lights are better. They're brighter. And I know, some people don't think about that, but dusk to dawn lights, yep.
And
So
if you do get the dusk to dawn light, you don't have to worry about turning your light switch on
nope,
every night.
not
Yep.
at all.
Mine has been on for 1.5 years in the back of my house. And when I come into the kitchen with the lights off, I can see the reflection too. And when I'm driving by on Sunset, I can see the light nice and bright. And they cost 2 in a pack for under $10. And it'll
Yep.
last you 10 years. It'll last you 1.5 years. I've had it.
And
One light
some of
bulb,
them
you
have
haven't
motion
changed it.
sensors.
Yes,
Some,
it does.
some,
Yes, yes.
yep. It makes you feel better.
So, cause I turn my porch light on every night, but it may be dark by the time I put it on. Are you just getting them at Lowe's or Home Depot, the dusk on? Cause that's the first.
I ordered mines from Amazon,
Okay.
but they do have them in the store.
Yeah.
2 in the pack. It has a little black dot on. When you screw it in, the same way you put a light bulb in your regular fixture, you put the same light bulb in that fixture. You
Yep.
just have the black dot facing out, and it's going to come on every night, go
Yep.
off in the morning. And if it's a real cloudy day, rainy day, it might come on. But I have the light fixture in the front. I've had it for years. But in the back, that one light bulb that cost me what, $4.
Yeah, I have floodlights in the back.
Yeah.
And I even put up the motion lights that we gave out for National Night Out. And I love those. I put those everywhere. But just if something's moving, and it gets lighter, and it just, I don't know, I feel like something's triggered in me. It just feels safer.
Mm-hmm.
It just
You know,
feels.
it was embarrassing. A BG&E guy had came out because my neighbor a couple of doors down had a gas leak or something, and he had a flashlight, and he was like, "It's always so dark around here. People don't turn their porch lights on." And I was like, "Wow!" And I never even paid it any attention until he said something, because I always turn my porch light on. I think it's to me it's safe for anybody walking around, but for myself alone, you want your porch light on just to deter people from coming on your property, especially with packages being delivered. Even if you have a ring, the porch light is an added notice to, oh, look at this person on this porch. So yeah, that dusk is on. Thank you, because that's a good idea. Even if I forget, or if I'm on vacation, it'll come on its own. So that's good.
Let me show
Hello.
you. Hello.
Hello. Yes, I'm Elaine. I don't know how to do the wave, but I wanted to say something about the lights. Now, I've had those dusk to dawn lights forever. I only had to exchange one time, and I've had them on my property, the front and the back, for at least 5 years, and I only had to change it one time. But I also, in the back, even with that light, by my yard being so long, if I'm going out to the trash, and I have some of those solar motion lights, I don't feel comfortable going all the way down to where I keep my trash cans after dark. So I keep my Christmas lights out the back around my deck. So that helps to give light. And I also wanted to mention something about when you all were talking about the property and how some people keep it. I think we may have a lot of renters now, because on our block, I live on Kirkwood, and we have a bunch of new people. We have cars coming up all hours of the night. I don't hear music. I just hear boom, 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 boom. And when I get up in the morning, it's always trash, soda bottles, liquor bottles, and everything. And I don't feel comfortable picking a lot of that stuff up without gloves. So I try to keep gloves around. But I think we have, most of the homeowners take more pride in than the renters. And I think we're beginning to get a lot of renters.
I agree. I want to figure out a way that if there's things homeowners need help with, like pruning shrubs or something like that, because I see a lot of shrubs that grow up so high, or that I can't imagine coming home and having to walk through shrubs to get to my front door. So I want to figure out a way that we can kind of help with some of that. Just in a day, like it said in the chat, just have a day where these things can happen, and where if we work together, we can make things happen. I will admit to being a little bit of like, yeah, people aren't going to do anything. Yeah. But lately, more people have been coming up with ideas. And I wanted to show you guys this. This, because you just mentioned going on vacation and, oh, here I am. This, there comes two in a box. It's a timer. And especially this time of year, let me see, this time of year, like when we're coming home and it's dark out, and you can take your lamp, plug your lamp into that, and you set the real time and what time you want it to come on and what time you want it to go off. And this way I got them because I don't like coming home to a dark house. And so the lamp could be on while I'm before I get home, and it doesn't, I do it right before it gets dark. So it just, once it's dark, there's light in the house and someone won't notice that this light goes off at this time, goes on at this time every day. So it's an idea. Yeah. Home, I think this was two in a box. I think it was like $10 for two. And they do have them at Lowe's and Home Depot, but because I never moved from my desk at work or now my table here, it's Amazon. Mike.
And at the Christmas time, you can get them because a lot of people use them for their outside lights, which I use for mine all year round. And you can get them sometimes as cheap as under $5.
Here we go.
Yeah, because I use them for my Christmas tree because I normally keep my Christmas tree up all year long. So I set the timer so I don't have to come back down and turn it off. It comes on, it goes on and off.
Mike.
Most people probably have like an Alexa or a Google Home. That's just another way to control your lights without worrying about if it's a dusk or dawn light. If you have an Alexa or something, you can actually set a schedule for your lights to go on and off. If you're out of town, you can set a schedule for your lights to come on a certain time of day. If you're concerned about other means of lighting, you just have to get a smart bulb and not a dusk or dawn bulb, which is about the same money.
Yeah, you have to get a smart bulb, which I have one down here, but there's also another part. There's the Alexa. Shouldn't do anything. There's the Alexa, there's the middle ground, and then there's the bulb. So yeah, I was like, what the hell with that? But so that was just too much. But I do agree. It is another way. It is another way of functioning. But yeah, I got really annoyed with Alexa. So now I just say, hey, can you play this song for me? But that's it. I'll get around to.
I didn't get that.
Never mind, Alexa. Thank you. So it's, but yeah, that's this spring. I really want to work on us doing some, just some cleanup, and just if we have to do it block by block, or I don't know, but I definitely want to hear from people, Danielle, and get for some ideas, because my idea box is busted. I'm usually good at it, but that box is busted. Anybody got anything else?
Did I miss the dumpster day?
Dumpster day is April the 29th. Shredding day, because we couldn't get them on the same day, is June 17th. It'll be for 2 hours from 10 to noon. And we're gonna try to do, it depends on what he says, try to donate clothes to rehab facilities. It's sitting here somewhere, but that's what we're gonna try to do. I will put in, I will put out information about that. I do promise. Yes, ma'am, Miss Brancella.
Will the newsletter have the envelopes in it for the
That's my plan.
huh?
That's my plan. That's my plan.
Okay.
That is my plan. I've been trying to figure out whether to buy new, have new return envelopes made, or if it'll just make more sense to get labels that say return to Emerson Heights, address labels.
Okay.
I'll see which one is cheaper, but that's, yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I'm working on.
Okay. And one more thing. Did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
ever check in on the house on my block, 53 and
To
51?
see if it had a permit. No, that's not the one with the permit. I want to say I sent a couple of letters,
Okay.
but I also have a bunch of notebooks. I can answer that for you later, but
Okay.
yeah, I got a bunch of notebooks.
Okay. And one more thing.
Yeah.
In our backyards, is that a storage area? I mean, it's a backyard that has tires in it, a shed, ladders in it. It's just a junky looking yard. This is 51 with, I think they're Mexicans or Spanish people or something, another lives there.
It's not the end unit.
Not the what?
End unit. I think
Yes, it is the end unit. Yes.
Our wall.
Yeah. No, Langford. 1453, 1451.
1451.
Yeah, because I'm 55, 53 is next, and then 51.
Okay, so no, I'm thinking about one that, let's call code enforcement.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll do that. Okay.
Or if you want me to do it, if there's like, you get me a picture.
Send you a picture.
Yeah, if there's a picture or, yeah, I don't do much walking down the alleys anymore.
Okay, I'll send you a picture of it.
Okay, and
maybe, yeah, I'll send you something.
Okay, I'll report it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I just happened to think of this. The streetlights that are on our block on Barrett. I understand. I have been trying to get a hold of BG&E about it, but I understand when the light turns purple, like they are now, they are going out. And I've tried to get BG&E to come out and check it out. Right? Having a hard time.
It's my understanding that I guess they got a bad batch.
Yep.
They got a bad batch, and I went online for our block specifically, and it said that it was already reported. So.
Well, my question is, when are they going to do something?
Yeah.
Because when you drive down Barrett at night, which I don't do often, those lights are very harsh. And to be honest with you, you miss pedestrians.
How many have you missed?
Yeah.
You missed a couple of them?
Yeah. You can walk out between a parked car. And I almost hit a guy. He came up far enough to go around his car and open his door. And I almost got him because I didn't even see him. The light was so bright in my face. So I'm just concerned for the safety aspect.
Yeah.
You know, kids and older people and whatnot.
You might be the story I heard about. I think I heard about you almost hitting. I think I heard about that. It says that it's been reported.
Good.
They're all through the neighborhood. I also think the street lights need to be brighter and they're not just not purple, but brighter.
Yeah.
They
Cover
need
a
to,
bigger area and brighter, and that's
Yeah.
possible. I've
Yeah.
seen them. Yeah, it's possible.
so I'll
Okay.
figure out how to check in.
Yeah, I tried to do it online. I tried to do it on the phone. I got zero. I got more information from stopping by the truck, talking to a couple of guys.
Okay. And I'll say also brighter lights. How about that? So, yeah, there was a link that I saw someone put out that said if you have problems with BGE, reach out here. But I'm sure I emailed it to someone, I forwarded it to someone, so I'll take a look at that too.
Great.
Yeah, and just say we need brighter lights, but we also need the purple ones to be gone.
Yeah,
So,
they're terrible.
okay. Yeah, they are.
Thank you.
Anybody got anything else for me? You might as well. I already missed night court. So
Well, the
Night-
president's coming on next.
Oh, is he? Okay. Well, I guess you can choose who you want to listen to. But
Right.
no, night court is back on Tuesdays, and I was like, oh, I'm missing night court tonight. But that's fine. So okay, everybody. I am very thankful that you guys would join me. And like I said, not leave me sitting here talking to myself, but I'll do it. Just so you know, I'll do it. I will do it. And let's see. Yeah, I should be, yeah, March. March will be March. I don't know what we're talking about in March. I didn't know we were talking about tonight, just to be honest. But our next meeting will be on March the 7th.
Yep.
So I look forward to seeing each and every one of you back and
All
bring a
right.
friend. All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, all. Have a blessed one.